The next method of depreciation we're going to use for the truck is going to be production. Production is a really interesting way to depreciate an asset because the more you use it, the less value it has, and that really makes sense. If I have a truck and I drive it like a crazy person for 1 year, but I don't use it very much the next year, why would I depreciate it the same, right? So the production method is one of the ways that we can, build that in. So instead of using our years as our useful life, as you see I have everything else filled out, we're going to use 200,000 miles because we believe that this truck will be useful for 200,000 miles. Okay, so we're going to calculate what's called a depreciation rate, and that's going to tell us after every mile how much should I depreciate this truck. All right, your formula is given in your notes. Original cost minus salvage value divided by the amount of estimated use. Okay, so we're going to go back into Excel, and I know that my original cost is 90,000. I know my salvage value is 6,000, which means if I subtract them, I'm going to get 84,000. Now my estimated use is 200,000 miles. So I'm going to have 200,000 miles listed here. And if I divide, I'm going to do equals 84,000 divided by 200,000. Just you, there we go. I'm going to get 0.42. And what that means is that every mile that I drive this truck, it's worth 42 cents less to me. Okay? That's the big calculation here. Everything else is going to be either given to you or something you can calculate based on this number. Okay? So if I look at the directions, it tells me how many miles I've driven in each year. So in year 1, we've driven 34,600 miles. In year 2, we've driven 47,300 miles. In year 3, we've driven 52,800 miles. And in year 4, we've driven 36,900 miles. Now, if you add all of these miles up, I think it's about 171,000, or pretty close. So we're not going to fully depreciate this. We're still going to have some useful life going into year 5, but Applia only has us doing 4 years. To calculate this annual depreciation, all we're going to do is multiply the miles we've driven by our rate. So we can do that here in Excel, we can do it in the calculator, we'll do it in the calculator here. So I have 34,600, I'm going to multiply that by 42 cents. That means in the first year, I will have depreciated this asset $14,532. We will complete this column the same way. 47,300. We're going to multiply that by 42 cents, and we get 19,866. All right, we're going to work our way down. 52,800 times 42 cents again. We have a depreciation there of 22,176. Finally, in that last year, 36,900 times 0.42. In our last year, we're going to depreciate it 15,498. So once you have your annual depreciation expense, we can do what I call the wheel. We start the wheel turning. It starts at 90,000. We're going to subtract 14,532. So 90,000 minus 14,532. And the important thing to remember is whatever you end a year with, you start the very next year with. And you'll go on and on, subtracting annual depreciation as you go. Whatever I end year 2 with, I start year 3 with, and you can probably see how much easier this will be in Excel once you can start calculating formulas, and you will have some supplement work to do in Excel where you can build formulas and just extrapolate them down. But this is the production method for the truck. Like I said, the big important thing, figuring out this depreciation rate and applying it to the miles driven section. That's production.